Hey guys, how you doing?
Yeah,
Looks nice out there today.
maybe beautiful day. All right, welcome in for another Friday safety focus of the week. It is August 11th. This week's code of conduct is to maintain confidentiality of insider information learned about ECI or about our clients. Any other words of wisdom on this code item?
Yeah, it's just something good to consider. A little bit of discretion goes a long way when it comes to this stuff. We learn a lot about our own situations and numbers and on bids and whatnot, and it's good to also understand that when we're working, like when we were at Vermont Yankee and other places, we've signed confidentiality agreements for various things. So keep it about the work. And less about the speculation of some of the other details that we learned.
Thanks, Ben.
100 days.
Made it 100 days. However, haven't made it too far from our last first aid injury, as we're seeing a lot of on-site first aid. Again, we are a contractor that is very hands-on with our work, so we have a lot of exposure, and we're seeing that this time of year, especially kind of the big push here as we're getting close to mid-August, and that November 15th kind of some of those deadlines are approaching. So again, we need to just remember we not take on unnecessary risks, try to control our hazards as best we can out there. Start that day off with a good JHA, develop that plan. Let's communicate how we're going to control our hazards, and let's just kind of hold each other accountable to the agreement that we made in that JHA. So we're not taking unnecessary risks, and there's not a lot of unsafe conditions out there. So with that said, health and safety is out there to help. Give us a call. We'll swing by the job site. We'll do our part. Tommy's down in Royalton, and Austin and myself are definitely right around here in Chittenden County, but we're out there to help. So please utilize us as you seem fit. With that, we're gonna talk about blind spots. We've had a bunch of employees talk about just employees running into blind spots with either truck traffic or even blind side of excavating and loaders. So Austin's going to take it away here and talk about some blind spots.
Right, as Matt said, we're going to talk about blind spots. So the first step in knowing blind spots is know your vehicle. Depending on what you're driving, there's going to be lots of different areas that you can't see. Not just a dump truck, but if a loader, an excavator, a dozer, anything like that, they're all gonna have different blind spots, and you can see some examples right here. One thing to prevent it is, when you can, always have a spotter. Someone look out, make sure people aren't getting in the way. Avoid distractions. Stay off your phone. Turn the radio down, things like that. Make sure you can hear people, yelling to you in an emergency or something like that. Use your mirrors and check them twice. You might look once and then go back up, look again, there's someone right there. If you can, walk around the vehicle before moving. Check the blind spots. Make sure there's not any equipment or, a big telephone pole or something like that sitting in your blind spot. Observe any hazards. Know your swing radius. Take into account things like a forklift that steers from the rear. Know what's around you, and then don't approach equipment in the blind spot. Make sure the operator, you make eye contact. First step is hazard recognition. Recognize the hazards that do exist. Take a minute and think about things. Think about the worst possible situation. Just think about things that could happen. So you want to make eye contact with the operator, and if you can, communicate with them. Ask the driver, where are your blind spots? Where do you want me on the job site? Where can you see me? Now, don't just run behind equipment or truck backing up, things like that, and assume that the driver or operator can see you and is aware of you. When you can put barriers, have barriers where you just physically can't get in the area where equipment is operating or you're dumping material, things like that. Again, have spotters, and then finally, backup alarms, and then your PPE, your high vis vest, things like that. Just to warn drivers and warn workers, that there are people around. So that's really all I have.
Yeah, thanks, Austin. Informative. One thing that, I got taught at a young age in construction, if you can see the operator, he can see you. If you can't see the operator, he can't see you. So something to think about out there. Tom, you got anything to add on spotters, blind spots?
Yeah, I like I always say, imagine if it's daytime that everybody's wearing camouflage around you, and if you're or imagine that you're wearing camouflage, and if it's nighttime, imagine that you're wearing black if you're walking, or that somebody else is wearing black if you're operating, and just imagine that you're not going to see somebody, so that way you're always looking.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. All right, can everybody see the email that got sent out last night? Blind spots awareness safety focus of the week.
Yep, we can see it.
All right,
I
corporate.
I got it.
You want to do this, Ben?
Nope, you're good.
Oh, you good? Okay, yeah. Corporate announcements. Fare tickets were mailed in last week's paycheck and stub envelopes. So if you signed up and didn't receive those, please contact admin. New vehicle and equipment fuel cards are in, so please see Sarah to exchange those. The current cards expire September 2023, so don't wait till you get to the pump and your car gets denied. So make sure you get with Sarah so you can get the right card for the next calendar year. So on Monday, we're saddened to hear that Larry LaRock passed away. Larry had a long battle with cancer. He pretty much worked with us until about 2021, 2022. So it's definitely sad to see. He was a railroad flagger for us. Ones that knew him, very soft spoken, but very dedicated, was always there, always on time, always helping out, willing to do anything to help the team and keep the team safe, working on the maintenance of way on the railroad tracks. So we will we'll add Larry to our fallen heroes up here in health and safety. Anything to add to that?
He owns that track right there, and he's standing right on it with his arms folded.
Yeah.
Good guy.
You'll be missed. No new employees this week. We do got a couple coming in for next week, Monday orientation. Opiate drug help again. We got a couple here right through the side of operations building. If you're coming from the 4 bays into the main office, these are free kind of opiate bags with Narcan in them and other help seeking remedies to help anyone that might be dealing with substance abuse and opiates.
Those are blue now.
Oh, they're blue? Changed them out?
Yeah, the new ones that AGC is pushing out are blue now, so.
Okay. So yeah, but they're the same style duffel bag, blue or black. Yeah. And then last again is the ECI Primary Wellness Program. Got a link here. When you get this email, if you're interested, again, good time of year to start thinking about your overall wellness. It's been a long construction season. We got a big push here, but again, any nicks, rolled ankles, bum shoulders, anything that might be going on, you need to seek some kind of free wellness. Contact health and safety, put you through it. We're gonna dive into this a little bit more in the next couple months to try to boost this program here, because we're not seeing a lot of participation, and it's a really good program. So we're gonna try to re-educate and re-inspire to get more people in our wellness program. With that said, Nate, if you want to take over the screen and talk about Berry City and all the challenges and how we executed so far on this project.
Yeah, can everybody hear me okay?
We can, Nate.
All right, yeah, why don't you just maintain the screen and I'll just read. Does that work for you?
Works for me.
Okay. So yeah, V-Trans Berry City HES 37-18, Route 14 at Merchant Street, intersection improvements, obviously Berry. I believe Ed did this right up yesterday, so I'll breeze through here. So ECI is contracted with V-Trans on the road reconstruction of 14 in Berry City. 1,600 feet of road reconstruction on Route 14 and 300 feet on Merchant Street. We began work late April, and in theory, we'll be done here in October of 2023. Most of the work is parallel with the renowned Hope Cemetery on Route 14. Scope of work includes 1,600 linear feet of 8-inch PVC sewer with 10 manhole structures, 1,500 feet of linear 12-inch ductile. That's actually 8-inch ductile air and water line, but that's fine. 1,400 linear feet of 30-inch, 24, and 18-inch HDPE storm drainage with 17 structures. The road reconstruction includes 10,000 cubic yards of excavation replaced with 3 feet of dense grade crushed stone, 7-inch of pavement applied in 3 lifts. We'll also be realigning Merchant Street with 14, which will provide a safer approach on that intersection. Included with this realignment, ECI will also be constructing the gravity ready rock wall, which will be located on Merchant Street portion of the job. ECI also had to install a 2-inch water line, temporary water line, I should say, above ground to allow for the installation of the new one. Yeah, lots of challenges on this job. You know, the high volumes of traffic on Route 14, lots of ledge throughout, lots of heavy trucks with, you know, transporting granite. I think it's safe to say we've just been pounded with rain throughout this job. You know, almost every other day it seems, with the obvious big storm. You know, some of those early storms actually created a little bit more damage than the big one, because we're at that point, you know, we knew where we had some problems during some of those earlier rains, and we you know, the boys did a great job putting down some big rocks. So we're actually ready for the big one that came through, and the site actually held up very well. But ECI and V-Trans have partnered well on this project throughout so far, and will continue to do so to bring it across the finish line. At this point in the job, you know, the new sewer line and water line are complete and in use. Guys are wrapping up drainage right now, be done in a few weeks. And we'll begin road reconstruction, the installation of the rock wall. Once all the drainage is complete, and then it'll be down to like your obvious paving, curbing, lighting, line striping, all project signage. So the next photo down, that's basically just the overall you know, project limits of the site. The next photo down is the intersection. That's the intersection at Merchant, at Route 14 rather, with the new turning lane and all the new, you know, lane assignment signage that goes along with it, new line striping. Down to the photos, that's early on in the job when we were removing pavement with the BOMAG. The typical cross section that looks like that's the area that we're into ledge right there. Next photo down, yeah, that's the boys' typical day at the office with the trench box. That's been basically what it's looked like throughout construction, and you know, since the start, with that supportive excavation moving forward with trench boxes and sometimes double trench boxes to get structures in. So it's a challenging job for the guys, and they've done a really great job, especially like safety wise. I haven't yet to hear of any safety concerns. I know I saw Tommy down there the other day, and he's been there quite a bit so far, and you know, the guys are doing a great job. It's a tough job. It's a tough job to pull off all this stuff and maintain traffic at the same time, the heavy volumes of traffic through there. So they're doing a great job. You know, V-Trans is really happy with the job. So yeah, next one down is also, you know, typical supportive excavation, that storm line. You can see the ledge that main drilling and blasting came in and blasted out in front of us. They either blasted or perforated the rock in areas where we couldn't blast due to overhead power and stuff like that.
I thought this was funny. Ken found this on Google Maps. Just going through the project, you can see it. It was an updated in July 23 on Google
Yeah,
Maps.
that looks. That's yeah, that must be the water line construction. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on the other
that's
side.
very recent. So
Get
yeah,
some-
water line construction. Next one down looks like primarily
with-
trees, but
This
we'll
is the
keep running.
tie-in, right? That's
Yeah,
over
that's
here.
down at the tie-in point. Toward, yeah, on the city side of the project.
Water
and,
line like 45's across the street, right? Kind of comes onto the left
Yeah,
side.
45. Yeah, and then it switched to the opposite side of the road and continues up the other side of the road and ties in, you know, up gradient on the project up past the cemetery. So yeah, that's all complete, tested, back T test. That's all in use. That's active.
This shows you how tight it is
Wow.
between with the trees, the equipment, power lines. You know, we had some real pinch points, real tight areas on this project to keep traffic maintained and keep us safe. And here's another example here. And then you want to talk about all of our invert work?
Huh.
Yeah, so I'm not sure why the city still likes bricking versus precast concrete, but you know, the spec was bricking in those inverts. Aaron Jewer and some guys came down, and the craftsmanship of this is absolutely beautiful. I mean, they came out really great. I haven't seen this done in like a decade, but you know, they claim this stands up better to concrete. Like, I don't know. Like, I kind of beg to differ, but like it came out really nice. The guys did a really nice job. They had a nice setup with that grout trailer. And yeah, really came out nice.
Yeah, they're very proud of it too, and it is really beautiful. Looks great.
So I don't know if you want to finish it up with the archives or whether you want me to do it.
I can do it.
Yep, take it away.
Yeah,
Thank you.
There's the setup that they had,
Nice.
and this is probably Jim and Daryl remember reclaiming the roadway up at Hope Cemetery back in 2017. We were just up there about 5 years
Sure
ago.
do. I think that's Brian Coda on the ground.
Wow.
Senior.
Brian Cole Senior, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably
Who's
Jim
running the
Sharon
bow
in the
mag,
machine.
remember?
Oh yeah. That was a
Oh,
nice
yeah.
job.
Yeah.
No traffic, no people, quiet,
Yeah,
lots
exactly.
of things to look at. Beautiful.
Yeah, awesome. We snapped this photo for Scott Pigeon's birthday, so I thought a little highlight nice of the Berry crew all together. Guys have worked hard on that project. We appreciate everything that they do. Well, with that said, that's all we have for this morning's presentation. Let's be safe. Let's take advantage of this beautiful sunshine, low 70s day. Let's work together, let's solve problems together, and let's work safe together. Be safe.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks.
Thanks, Nate.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Nate.